It's cheaper to build.
Yes, if you have planned correctly.
I will break it down for us now, because I know the biggest issue when it comes to buying and or building is the cost. Most of these conversations zinaishianga or they begin at finances. So how does that look like?
Building is more expensive because of those costs that are not factored in. But when you look at buying, everything is set on stone. So it becomes, it's not cheap. It's expensive, but it becomes cheaper than building because the costs are specific and they're fixed.
Hi everyone, my name is Edna.
And I'm Mercy.
And this is A Real Conversation.
Your trusted guide in everything real estate here in Kenya.
We'd like to say a big thank you to Centum Real Estate for making this happen again and again. Thank you so much.
The biggest developers in East and Central Africa, and be sure to check them out. We will also put their website on our page below.
Yes.
And today we are about to answer the big age-old question, whether buying or building, and which one is the best choice, and also what is the cost.
Yeah, and I remember also there was a comment we got on the same when we're doing rent versus buy. So I think her name was Miss Karaoke. We are here to answer your question.
And so to break it all down today, we have a guest, a very special guest. She is a well-known project manager. She is the project manager of $1 billion.
$1 billion shilling.
Ninashinda nikisema dollar.
Because she looks like it.
She looks like the dollars. But anyway, she is the biggest project manager within Two Rivers, and she is in charge of loft residences. And we just want to introduce her today, and I hope that you guys get to see her, enjoy her. She is a very funny,
very fun,
full of energy, so
very smart.
Stephanie, by the way, introduce yourself to the people.
Hi guys.
She's very shy.
Yeah, this is all interesting and
new.
So Stephanie Wafula. I'm a project manager at Centum Real Estate. I have managed the loft residences, which is, to clarify, $1 billion Kenyan shilling project, not dollar, but you're getting there. So I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
We're happy to have you.
We're very happy to have you. We've been thinking about doing a team build, because every time you're just talking about people buying property up front, but now tunataka kusikia the other perspective. Is buying, is building is it a good choice for people to go through? And I don't know, maybe ukiwa mdogo, what did you dream? Were you dreaming you're an apartment girly like some of us? Ama you dreaming of like building your own home
like some of us.
So of course, and don't lie you guys, I know everyone wanted to build when they were younger, because you wanted to put in your colors and designs and features, furniture and everything like that. There's this show I was watching when I was younger in 2004. It's based in the US. It's called Makeover. It's basically a team of contractor and designers and the professional team for constructing. They're given like 7 weeks to make over a house according to the preference of the family and all that. That thing made me become obsessed with building, like seriously obsessed.
But that's a reason why you went towards the project management.
Kinda, and also because I'm into art. I really wanted to do I don't know, it's architectural kind of art. Drawing, I used to draw houses a lot when I was a kid. And that's why I leaned into the project management side. But growing up, I realized that it's actually not that easy. It has a lot of processes building, So buying can be convenient.
But Sasa, today we are here to talk about now the pros and the cons, the cost behind building a home in Nairobi. How much is it per square meter, per square feet? Sa hizo ndio vitu tunataka kutackle leo. And sometimes people are not able to make such decisions. What do you think is the reason behind this? Is it misinformation? Is it fear? Maybe people wale mafundi wakawafanya kazi mbaya. So what do you think causes people to not go towards the route of building?
So it's all about research. Like, do your due diligence, guys. Don't just jump into building a house just because everyone is building. So for the pros and cons, for the pros of building, you can actually customize your house to however you want it to look like in terms of designs and fixtures. Fixtures, I mean like sinks and lighting. Nowadays, there are cool designs for lighting. And also, you can have total control over constructing your own house. Like, there's no, set
standards kama mtu akibuy property.
And also, it's cheaper. It's cheaper to build.
It's cheaper to build?
Yes, if you have planned correctly.
I will break it down for us now, because I know the biggest issue when it comes to buying or building is the cost. Most of these conversations zinaishianga or they begin at finances. So how does that look like?
So for building, proper planning is key. Most people end up going beyond the budget because of some things that are overlooked. So when you construct, people just look at the fact from foundation all the way to finishes. But there are other factors that come in that need cost, like maybe buying the land, maybe clearing the site of trees that accrues a lot of cost. And then there's permits and approvals from kwanza this government of Kenya. Hey,
the permits, like everything, kama kupata visa.
So that's when it comes to buying, like building is more expensive because of those costs that are not factored in. But when you look at buying, everything is set on stone. So it becomes, it's not cheap. It's expensive, but it becomes cheaper than building because the costs are specific and they're fixed.
But now if you plan properly
in constructing,
you can save some coin.
Yes.
So I understand why you're saying buying is more expensive, but people tend to go for it sometimes. I think it's because of the time factor and even the effort. Because some people don't really have time to be going around waiting for permits. Probably akona pesa there and then, and they need to get it done, or they need a house as soon as next month.
And then also these houses, the titles are normally ready by the way. Like you do not have to struggle. Sijui niende nifanye nini kwa Ministry of what, and so it's already done for you.
Do you know like how long it takes to get these permits and approvals? Not less than 6 months.
Sis. So you want to tell me 6 months kuendelea? Like if your angels are facing you today, utapata na 6 months.
And that's just the permits and approvals. You've not even like broken ground. There's no groundbreaking that has happened.
You haven't gotten your architects in line.
You haven't hired your team.
Do you think the process is different for people who are in urban centers compared to people who are in rural areas?
Yeah, of course. Of course, there's a huge like distinguishing line. Like you can't even mistake the two. For the urban areas, there are like more developments in terms of infrastructure, amenities, like shopping amenities, hospitals and schools. So the prices tend to be higher because of market demand. Everyone wants to live comfortably. Like you wouldn't want to be living here and then you're going to maybe the shop like 50 kilometers away, But for rural areas, it's you're asking about the cost.
Kama rural and urban.
For rural, it's a bit cheaper. Even land in itself, it's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
For sure.
Anyway, that's enlightening. So I just want to ask you a quick question. If I'm now doing my research and I'm looking at buying and building, apart from now my financial decisions, is there any other thing like I should consider? Tumesema now the permits and everything, but if you're to just reiterate this to someone, what should I consider apart from finances? Nikitaka to make my decision of buying and building.
The first thing is, even before we continue, you didn't even ask me, like, there's this thing that will help you in terms of buying and building. Usually have two choices to make.
Okay.
That is comfort and convenience. You either choose not comfort and convenience. It's convenience and it's comfort and convenience. You either choose whether you want to buy or build in terms of comfort, or you want to just be convenient about it. So with that, some of the things that you can consider is time and patience. If you're one not to be patient, you can't build.
Yeah.
Like the process is long, and also it takes time. There's also in terms of location, like the urban areas is a bit expensive in terms of building because the land is expensive. So there's location and availability of land, there's time and patience, and also market demand. You'd consider building for investing, but you're building in somewhere where people are not interested in living. So you'll be wasting your money there.
And I know also on the issue of location, I think I spoke about it before. When, say, you want to live in Runda, check the price of an acre. A while back, it was around 200 M. So when you think about it, you want to live in Runda, but after you've not even bought the land
itself.
You would rather go for a already built house that's going for about 50 M. It's already on land. You're going to get your title and everything of the sort. Maybe an apartment if you really want to live in Runda. But if you want to live away from town, like let's say where? Ngong. Is Ngong away from town?
Yeah.
Or Thika, but Thika is really now a town in itself. Yeah, you would rather build than buy. Personal opinion though.
Yeah. And also ume answer swali nilikuwa nayo. Like land prices. Because now I feel like building depends on you having the land itself. And now you're now making this decision. So it's easier for someone maybe mwenye inherit. Aki make this choice between buying and building. But now if you're starting from scratch,
it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot.
Yeah. Anyways,
the time factor.
Anyway, have you ever seen someone make a big financial mistake akianza kujenga?
Build.
Yes and yes.
Tunataka learn from the mistakes of others.
So it's all about budgeting. I don't know why people tend to be so excited about building and forgetting like it is a serious thing. It's a serious investment, and budgeting is key. So most people I've seen who've made mistakes is because of budgeting. And also another thing is due diligence. So I'll use an example, but I won't mention names because I want to plead the fifth. So there's this time the government was demolishing like major structures, major malls and buildings of the sort, which were bringing in business for many years. But just like that, it was gone. Because they didn't do their due diligence to check if that land is actually legally, like is it legal to build there? And that's just like that. Those businesses are brought down, imagine. So I feel like mentioning, but I can't.
Wanajua.
Yes. Oh. So you have to do your due diligence. Land is a very tricky thing to play around with. So most people have lost their developments because of that, and also because of budgeting. There's usually fluctuations in the market. So materials tend to rise and fall in terms of prices, same to labor, and then it gets to a point where you're almost done. Like you've seen so many houses when driving past Nairobi or in Kenya, you just see like shells of houses. They're not finished because they just they planned for the shell part, like the foundation, the structure, and then the roofing. But for the finishes wasn't planned for.
So if I want to budget, who do I go to?
there is a professional called quantity surveyor. They usually they bring the drawings and the plans to them. Then they're going to extract the cost in terms of what has been provided in those drawings.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wataandika everything down from the foundation?
From everything, even labor costs, even like disposing off of that rubbish. Everything.
Everything is written down.
Yeah.
I had another question, and then another one has come in
Bado,
my mind. I wanted to ask, let's say I've budgeted, I've gone to this QS, and then for whatever reason, imefika mahali and the budget is not budgeting. What can cause these things? Like, nime budget kusema ukweli, and
again, I insist, I think this is my mantra for today.
For today, if you live with anything, due diligence.
Yes, due diligence.
But I think, Pia, you remember there's a time the government will increase excise duty on imported materials. And, you know, such regulations can cause you to... Hata kama waki increase by, let's say, ata 15 or 20%.
15% of something like 10M is a lot
of money.
Yeah. 10M is on the lower side even.
Sa zingine, I don't think you might have done your level best, but sa zingine, it's just the environment. Now, let's say the regulatory frameworks that are coming up, the taxes are being included. So at least on your part, as Stephanie is saying today, do your due diligence, budget properly, use a professional. Quantity surveyors have a registration board. It's called Borax. So at least fanya research. Is your quantity surveyor, that do they have a practicing license? See what they've done before. So zingine, a little bit of time will save you millions because you did not do something. Yeah,
and I feel like in the building in this country especially, people don't want to pay professionals. You're going to ask that friend of yours, kuja nichore nyumba, then a few months later the house is down only because you didn't want to pay that engineer. You didn't want to pay that architect. You didn't want to pay that QS. You didn't want to even pay a contractor and a whole team who are specialized. You call those people, tunasema kwa mtaa. Unaita watu wa mtaa, since they have ever done handiwork. Unawaita wakujenge. And now, also in that way, you won't budget. I feel like these people use more money than they should.
Actually.
Advice is... dedicate 10 to 20% for these professionals. You remember when I told you about cost being an issue in terms of being more expensive in building? One of the things that is forgotten is paying the professionals. Like, do you know there's fees for architectural drawings? Even when they revise it, you have to pay. Even for the QSs, that is quantity surveyors, every single person has to be paid. So just like dedicate 10 to 20%.
Even those site inspections are paid for.
They are paid for.
Yes.
Site inspections by?
Mimi nikikuja kuangalia site as an engineer, you'll have to pay me.
Are you being serious?
Yes.
I didn't know.
It's not free. Where would I come give you consultation for free?
But nilisikia NCA wali make it a rule. The people who are working in your site, I don't know if it's true, the people who are working in your site have to be permitted. If permitted is the word, I don't want to say licensed, but at least wame qualify according to NCA's regulations. Is that true?
Like the skilled or unskilled workers?
Kuna
skilled and unskilled labor.
Okay. So maybe for skilled ndio wanataka ikwe
they have to be
qualified, registered
by NCA.
So for the contractor is NCA, and then for the architects is Architectural Association of Kenya, AAK, and then for QSs is Borax.
Anyway, umai ulizwa na mtu umfanye chini ya maji. Stephanie.
Kwanza like drawing.
Drawings.
Creating BQs, the bills of quantities. Yes.
Unafanyanga kazi ya punda huku nje.
No.
Unakataa?
No, I do it, but at a fee.
Wow, that's what we like to hear. Hey, that's nice though.
It's like going to a friend's shop and taking stuff for free. you're not going to go to your friend's shop to take stuff for free, but why do you want her to draw for
that's
you
right.
or do the BQ for you for free? The second question I had.
Yeah.
So there's the building process. Tell us from scratch. Like,
Okay.
how does it go?
Yeah, kuna me by the way, I don't know, to be honest. I just know nyumba ikiwa imeisha. Processing yenye mtu anafanya, but now from building, I haven't paid attention.
Okay. So the first thing is your idea in your head. That's the first thing. You have the idea and you have the purpose of why you want to build. And then you take it to the architect. The architect comes up with drawings, like the look and feel, like how it will look, the 3D designs and the floor plans. And then it is taken to they work together with the interior designer so that you can have like fixtures where they're going to be placed. And they work with the electrical engineer, the mechanical engineer, the structural engineer. And then once the drawings are done, it's taken to the quantity surveyor who comes up with a cost breakdown so that you can have a budget. And most times when you work with professionals, like registered professionals, you'll have a budget that will not overrun. Then when you get to site, we have the permits and approvals. As I've said, it takes 6 months. Then upon getting them, you go to site. Construction takes 2+ years. So from 6 months to 2+ years. Do you want like the process of building?
No, not really.
Hey, but just imagine all those people. Is there somewhere I can get?
That's something I wanted to ask. Like, is there a group
Is there
of people or one person I can talk to that connects to all these people or anifanye?
Because now
maybe
I'm
that's
thinking,
why people buy.
Yeah, that's why people buy. Imagine nianze kwenda kwa umesema umesema interior designer waone vile the fixtures itakaa, tuende kwa electrical engineer aone kama ina make sense, mechanical engineer. Now I'm thinking, do I have to pay all these people?
Yes.
Oh my God. Is there no way I can, like someone who, there are some companies who offer that solution?
No, there's a professional. They're called project managers. You're the intermediaries for all this.
Okay.
Yeah, but so if I need to construct a house, I just come to a project manager, alafu atanisort from there.
Yeah, they can help in sourcing all those people. So you won't escape the cost part, just the stress part for looking for the team.
Yeah. Because building seems like hata tulikuwa tunasema buying is an emotional journey. Building inakaa itakupull to the string.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's nice that you guys are here, because I was wondering if I begin, I'd rather pay you honestly.
Alafu project managers certified. Is that like, how can I determine the credibility of a project manager?
So there's an ongoing we have an ongoing petition in court by the Association of Construction Managers of Kenya, where we want to create a body like Borax and AK that we can register project managers.
Okay.
But at the moment, there's usually like a subsidiary in AK and Borax that certifies project managers. Or also you can go through PMI, the Project Management Institute. Yeah.
Okay. So do you think it will be... Will the industry be regulated if they put up such?
Yes.
Because sasa watu wana run wild huku nje.
Yeah.
So itakuwa will now let's say for people who are watching and maybe they'd like to be project managers.
Yes.
Like what will you tell them, like wanze? How where do I start?
Like being registered or
just starting the process, because some the podcast is by the way for young guys. Kuna someone maybe ako interested in becoming a project manager.
Okay. So I can maybe share my journey if it will resonate with anyone. So I joined school. I was in Juja Boys, JQuat. It is known for the best engineering, I must brag.
Anyway, to move.
Yes. So I transferred courses. I wanted to do architecture. As I said, I wanted to draw buildings. I started drawing buildings when I was a kid. But I realized you can actually have all of them in one. That is being an architect, a quantity surveyor, a landscape architect, interior designer in a whole body called project management.
Okay.
So I took into studying construction management.
Okay.
Wow.
Initially, it used to be 5 years. Then they tried to tone it down to 4 years. It was a bit hectic. Then they brought it back to 5 years.
5 years.
Then now it's back to 4 years. So you'll have 4 years of learning experience, construction management. And then on the side, you can do maybe a certificate in project management, which bases on not only construction, like everything projects, like sales, marketing, everything. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
And then after school?
After school, during school, you go for internships called
Yeah.
like attachments since first year, like from the get-go.
JKUAT nayo I
You're
know.
taken
It's
to
not
sites.
third year only. Unaanzanga from first year. Kienda internship na mtu wa JKUAT na wewe ulienda
Maybe I
third year.
know.
Unaona
Yakina
dust.
Stephanie.
Yeah, but it's good. For my portfolio, I have 5 years experience because of that.
Wow.
Because of that.
Attachments. Yeah.
But let's go back to the finances because it's the major issue. Now there is resale value
Yeah.
for someone who's looking, okay, they've bought a house and there's someone else who's built a house. Which one has a higher resale value?
Definitely buying.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, why?
You know, let's use an example. So the market is going up. The real estate is appreciating, and real estate always appreciates. So let's say you buy a house at 10 million. In like 3 years, you can sell that same house at 20 million. And I'm not kidding. You have seen experiences, real life experiences. So buying it is cheaper in terms of you don't have to cater for the materials as they fluctuate. As time goes by, materials also rise, labor rises. For buying, it's just fixed. You'll buy a house at 10 million. In 4 years, you still had bought that house at 10 million, and then you sell it at 20 million. But if you build your house at 10, like you've budgeted 10 million, in the next year, you'll have to maybe overrun your budget with maybe 1 million, you see? So the resale, which one has a higher like return on investment?
Buying.
Yeah.
So you're trying to say, or you're suggesting that if I want to have a house as investment, the best option is to buy. Now, I'll also ask another question in line to that. Most African parents wanajenga, what do we call it? Ploti. They call it in layman terms.
Ploti ya nyumba.
Because they don't really, it's the education around real estate that is not out there. They'd rather build these houses than buy a house that will return almost the same thing. Why do you think that is? Which is better? Should we continue building the flats? Yeah, the flats. Flats, or go into the direction of buying 2-3 apartments that cost the same as building this, and it appreciates in value still. Yeah.
Yeah, it all depends on a person. It's all on the comfort and convenience. Yeah. So if you want comfort, if you want to design, like have your own like preferences and all that, build it. If you want convenience. But there's some like statistics. That word is really difficult. That I read. In 2024, like the last quarter, there was a rise in real estate like demand of 1.1%. Imagine.
That's high.
And yearly, there's usually 14.28% of demand in real estate. Meaning, when you buy that house and you sell it, in the next year, you'll have appreciated maybe by 14.28% because people are looking for these houses. People are actually buying nowadays over building. Yeah. And then building again comes with land cost. Land cost. Now, I think maybe, I don't know if we've exhausted all the land. I was listening to my friend speak the other day. They're like, I don't know what's wrong with my grandfather. Yani, aliona two people buying land. He bought at the slope of a hill. Like,
oh
what
my
is
God.
that? You know?
Yeah.
Nowadays, land is hard to get. So, just, I think, not to be biased, buying is better.
Buying is better,
In the
especially
long
for
run,
investment.
Yeah.
Because for personal use, maybe building is better because
Now it's
I
to
want
your
a cave
taste.
here. I want a room underground.
Nataka choo ikae mbele ya bedroom yangu. Utadu. Naitaka. So I have to build it.
But I know you can customize built houses.
You can, but see, it's at a higher cost, Ama.
No, but you can customize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ama, when you're buying off-plan, you're the best way. It's the best time to customize.
It all depends on the developer. There's some developers who actually insist on no customization until you get the house handed over to you.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they don't want to. But are they really incurring the cost? Because you'll still pay customization fee.
You know, it delays in time, and in construction, time delay equals higher costs. Again, as I've said, me as a developer, maybe if I'm a developer constructing, as years go by, market prices are fluctuating, so materials
Inflation.
are inflation.
I
and
don't
all
want
that.
your cost, all that time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So time is a resource, guys.
Yeah,
it is.
It's a very big resource.
time is precious.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so leo nikikupea unlimited budget.
Yeah.
What are you going to buy? Are you going to buy ama to build? What are you going to build?
Okay.
I want to hear your.
Yeah.
I want to hear your most
Your innermost thoughts.
So, smart move. I'll split. Yeah. So first of all, I'm going to buy land. Land is around maybe 3 million to 5 million. Let's say if I have maybe a budget of 10 million.
Hapa ni unlimited budget.
Unlimited.
Unlimited, you can do both. Let's
Ukona-
give her an ultimatum.
Kona Jeff Bezos.
Unlimited, I'll buy.
You'll buy.
Yes.
You'll buy a whole development.
Yes, I will buy that whole plotty, as you've said, all of it. And then I'm going to invest it for rental yields. So,
Money.
yeah,
Alafu for
bringing
you?
more money for the rest of my life.
Oh, you, it's just money, by the way.
Yes.
And now for your home. Ama, where do you think you'd want, by the way, to retire?
Is it a massive biz in Kenya?
No.
So
Uko na pesa yote?
I want like my own private island. I'm a person who's closed off, so I just want space to myself.
Guess
A
what?
whole bit.
Every
Just to
guest
kila
in
mtu
this-
ni private island too.
Is there something you guys are not telling us?
Yeah, tumechoka na a lot of noise outside there, and the views are beautiful.
Yes,
guys,
for sure.
you can't deny.
Anyways.
Oh, that's really nice. Alafu, there's a question I wanted to ask. So you've said also the financial thing, it really does depend on location, sindio?
Yes.
Okay.
Hiyo location imekusumbua. Unataka kwenda Kajiado nini?
Imenisumbua sana because most people usually just say build, but they don't even have all of the factors in place.
I think today's main takeaways ni do your due diligence.
Yes.
Like beforehand. Kwa ukijua what the process actually is, like research, know how much time it takes for foundation kukauka before uende kwingine, ndio usianze kuharakishiwa ploti and then later on inakuja inaharibika. And then the other thing nimelearn today is budget.
Yeah.
Budget.
And time is a resource because now as you delay your process ya
Build or buy,
prices are increasing. But would you advise someone to take a mortgage to build their own home, ama to just use their own savings?
I wouldn't encourage them to take a mortgage loan to build. It's very expensive. Very expensive. First of all, the mortgage loaners or lenders usually find it riskier when you are taking a loan in constructing because they tend to lend money to something they are seeing. That's why the buying aspect is cheaper. And then unexpected costs. You might take a certain loan to construct and then you come and find other costs which had not catered for.
Yeah.
Then how do you go about it?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Nata wezi rudi uko ambia, hey guys, bail increase.
Kwanza before like getting a mortgage loan for construction. It's a whole process because you have to provide like all the drawings, like the complete bills of quantities, and those things usually change with time. You find maybe you had missed something, you change. So before you do all that and get the loan, you won't even be interested in constructing anymore.
Okay.
I think my biggest takeaway is get a project manager.
Ooh, get Stephanie.
Get Stephanie, because all those things, the process is fulfilling, especially for someone who would like their own, the end, not the process actually, the end product of someone who's building, it's more fulfilling because you can see, I changed this,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanted this to look like this, but the process, I hate it to project manager.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but today, now I just want to ask if you are to give someone like advice today on the building and buying, emphasize on budgeting, due diligence, just to wrap everything up.
Yes.
What would you like? Mtu ame scroll amefika huko mwisho. Nini utamwambia atoke na leo?
Okay. So very short. If you want comfort, if you want to customize, if you want your type of needs to be met, you can build. If you have the time and patience. If you want convenience, faster moving, or maybe you want to get mortgage loans, you can buy. Only if you have, what's the con for buying a house? Only if you don't mind the features that have already been
put in.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a win-win situation, a lose-lose situation. So it all depends on someone. Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to, before you go, able tell people about your project.
Tell us how it was actually from the inception,
how the process was for you.
Yeah, so for the Loft Residences project,
we'll
the
put
thing
a photo.
Tutaweka photo hapo uone Loft Residences.
Yeah, the thing about it is it was a high-end project, so it had a lot of pressure in terms of budgeting. We had to budget like a high amount, and then we were selling it at an amount which some might think is too much, but at the long run people are actually getting a lot of returns. So we had maybe like a small delay in terms of the project, but we were able to move past it and we completed it in September 2027. 2024. Sorry. It is 27th September. I cannot forget. 27th September 2024. It was launched and now it is 90% full, like moved into. And it's fully sold out. But we're coming up with more projects, more beautiful projects. I don't know if you can share the link or something.
Yeah, photos we will.
Yeah.
Hebu waambie hiyo bei. Unajua watu sisi wa high end.
Usiongee hypothetically.
Hapa sisi ni watu wa high end. We just like luxury. Hebu waambie hiyo bei watu washtuke kiasi.
The price for so 45 million. The houses used to go for 45 million. Right now people who are reselling are selling it at 55 million. And I told you the project ended last year.
55M?
Yes.
That in less than a year?
Yes.
You need phase 2?
Yeah.
And phase 1? What was the initial price?
38 million.
So wait, mtu mwenye alinunua phase 1?
Yes.
Na sahi ameenda resell.
Yeah.
Ana resell na 55?
Yeah, 55 million on the higher end.
So that's 17M.
In 2-3 years.
Yeah, and on top of that, the rental income for those people who bought the houses and are renting it out is 350,000. So you get 350,000 in your account like every month.
Wow, Stephanie.
Retirement.
But amesema zimeisha, but sisi wenye tuko na pesa, sisi wenye we like luxury. Edna ibu
yes, luxurious women.
Yeah.
Luxury.
Sisi wenye we like luxury. Hiyo yenye inakuja next.
Yes.
Hiyo yenye inakuja next ni how much?
The one.
Hiyo ni how much?
It's going for 50 million.
Yeah.
50?
Yeah.
Hiyo yenye inakuja next niko hapo na
yangu because I want another 20 million
luxury,
on top after a few years.
Yes.
Ooh.
But thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you so much for coming. You're an inspiration to many.
Me, by the way, the first time I met Stephanie and I had anafanya loft. She hasn't even said the other things she's doing. But towers zingine hapo mbili zinatetemesha. But the first time I had Loft, I was so amazed. And also to say, like, she's a young person, and it's like saying, guys, it's possible.
It's actually possible.
It's actually possible to do all these things.
Nimekumbuka kitu. Imagine we didn't ask each other how our week
Oh my God.
Tulianza tu kuuliza Stephanie questions immediately.
Sorry. Akiga. Brisa. Pole.
How was
your week?
Well, my week has been fantastic. I had the most peaceful week. And this is so big coming from me.
Project.
Yeah. And also, I managed to get into this podcast, which is a big deal for me. This is actually me stepping out of my comfort zone. It wasn't on my New Year resolutions, but now I can just squeeze it in there. Yeah.
Tick.
Yeah.
Custom.
My week was good. Yeah.
And your plans for the weekend, maybe?
Yeah, because for anyone who doesn't know, leo ni Friday.
Yes. Can I not share, please?
Ni sawa. Najua watu wafundi, watu wa mjengo, anaweza kwa hapa anasema guys naenda out, kumbe anaitwa site.
Asubuhi na mapema 7 a.m.
But wow.
How was your week, Martini?
Have you had those weeks zenye everything is going haywire?
Yeah.
Jino yangu iliniuma. And I had to go get an extraction. And I don't know, your feeling you're extracting teeth, it's a feeling I don't want to do ever again. Yeah. Because my mouth ilikuwa numb this whole side, and it was like so uncomfortable. But at least I got it out and it's pain-free now. But other than that, okay, tunapendanga kusema inspiration.
Yeah.
Acha niwaambie kitu.
Yes.
In all this turmoil and everything, like there's something I'm learning. It's just to be still and quiet. It's like, it's one of my favorite verses right now. Psalms 46, 10. Be still and quiet and understand, or in other books, and know that I am God. So I'm just like, vitu zinaharibika, but I'm just going to keep my cool, be demure,
be girl.
Because sababu now if you start going with the chaos, vitu zitaharibika. So you just have to keep it cool and relax, and your week actually gets better. My day is getting better as you're going by, cause actually sewe kitu. Guys, Edna loves me.
What?
Let me tell you. Musidhani akiangalia hivyo.
What do you want to say? I don't know what you want to say.
Okay.
Musidhani akiniangalia hivyo. That's just her face. Kuna people who are raising concerns.
Ati anakuanga too serious.
Unakuanga too serious. Edna is such a bubbly girl, ananipenda, and today to get to the bottom of it.
What did I do?
Si tumesema unanipenda.
Oh, yes.
Ona sa Stephanie ana feel like
I'm just
willing tunakupenda pia.
Actually, for me, my week was just a week, but kuna kitu niliona jana. Eva, our friend, sent it to me. It was a tweet. I'm not sure if I should say who, but there do we call them tweets, and the platform is now called X.
It's heighter changing it.
Like Xing.
Xing. Where's that tweet?
Anyway, so the tweet was, I'm not sure if I should say the name, maybe we'll
just
put
say
it
the
up.
Tweet itself.
Yeah. It says the age between 21 and 26 is the age of guesswork. Testing all the mangoes to feel which one is ripe for you to consume. This month wewe ni salesperson. Next month uko Mombasa una broker skari. The other month unakimbiza tenda ya kusupply vinyasa za Form 1 pale Starehe Boys. The other month you're selling Indian imported bells to cattle herders huko Narok. Siku utaenda date na mrembo akikuuliza what do you do, unaanza kucheka ukishinda utamuelezea aje juu huwezi elewa. But by the time you're 30 years, you have found the ripe apple. No more guesswork. Sasa ni kufocus on how you get more ripe apples without tasting them. Unafaa kuwa unaangalia maembe hivi. Okay, mix maembe na apples. Unafaa kuangalia maembe hivi. Unajua hii imeiva ama hii haijaiva. You now have the experience. To all the young lads out here who don't know what to do with their lives, keep searching. Utapata maembe yako with time.
Oh my God.
That's nice.
It's so validating. Like, hatupiti.
Yeah.
That's so validating.
Because sometimes I think about it and I ask myself, by the way, how many years are you in terms of adulthood? I'm not saying since you turned 18,
Yeah.
since you started paying your own bills.
Like being immersed into adulthood.
Eh,
Like becoming the scam of being an adult. The scam of adulting.
It's the most ghettohood,
Hey.
this adulthood.
Yo.
I think if you start counting the years that you've been fully immersed into adulthood, we are babies.
You're just a baby. And look
Yeah.
at you and how many years have you been immersed in adulthood? Like
4, 5.
since uanze kujilipia rent.
Oh, 2 years.
And look at the
Imagine.
things you've done.
Imagine
I'm
mtoto
proud
wa
of
2 years.
myself.
Don't be hard on yourself.
Yeah. And also to the listeners, by the way, how many years have you been
An actual
an
adult.
actual adult? Because now
Naona kuna watu wanaangalia na huku anashangaa just small years.
small years, but now ukifeel hivyo ujue we are mini.
You're many.
Yeah.
You're figuring it out. Pat yourself on the back. Actually, you're doing a great
You're
job.
doing a great job just by being here.
Yeah.
Even listening to this, you're trying to better yourself.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Aki, it's so weird that tunamaliza na how our week was.
But ama
Tuko tukifanya hivi.
It sounds
It sounds nice.
yeah,
Because now it feels chill.
like a calming moment.
Yeah.
But sometimes mtu who panic.
Yeah.
You forget that you're a young person. Unaanza kufikiria buying a house,
It's
investing,
the pressures of
streaming
the
this,
world.
buying a car, buying this, buying that. Oh my God, you've just been in the adulthood scene for 2 years.
You're doing well, guys. Wherever
doing
you are,
well.
you're doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And for the adults who have been adulting for a long time, you're also doing great.
Yes.
You're doing great,
Fantastic.
sweetie.
I don't even know how you guys do it.
Yeah. We
But
look
you're
up to
doing
you
it.
guys.
Anyways, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you've learned something about building, buying,
The process,
the cost,
who to call.
who not to call.
But I have a question before we finish. Maybe it's an important one. What's the average cost?
Yeah.
Mbona tumeruka hiyo
Mbona
swali?
tumeruka hiyo swali?
What is the average cost of building a house in Kenya?
Typically, let's go with a 3-bedroom house. That goes from around, on the lower side, 2.5 million
Yeah.
to 6 million.
Wait, 2.5 ukiwa wapi? You've not bought land.
Ukifanya like those locations where it's cheap, if you use substandard quality, substandard in quotes, if you're just building for the sake of building.
Shelter.
Yes.
So unaweza pata na 2.5.
Yes.
Aye.
And then, yeah, 2.5 to 6 million building. Yeah.
So let me say I want to build, let me give you the scenario and then you tell me in terms of, if you can though, because it varies, square meters, square feet, all that. I want to build a house in Thika. I have the land ready. I want to build a 3-bedroom for me and my family, or for me, kwani mi siwezi ishi 3-bedroom peke yangu.
Hey.
I want
Yeah, your friends. Funny
me
yours
and my
in
friends. Yeah.
Hey.
A 3-bedroom house in Thika. It's quality. I want quality because I want this house to last me for years and years, for my grandkids or for my friends' grandkids. And yeah, my friend Mercy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Umesema nyumba siwezi jenga bila wewe.
Room
Okay.
yangu.
Na room ya Mercy ni one of the 3 bedrooms.
Yes.
Yeah.
How it's a good house. I want to build a good house in Thika on a 50 by 100.
Yeah.
How much will it cost me?
And you want to build it like one off and you'll never build again for the rest of your
Taki
life.
ku renovations ni
Kuongeza.
za huko 50 years plus when trends have trends
Change.
zimekuja like the way we saw these lights in the house, you know, people had to renovate.
Kitchen, iko na island.
Yeah, had to renovate their houses. Tusiweke hizo costs. Tuweke like the houses that we see our grandmothers have, they hardly have any renovations.
Oh,
How much?
basic.
Yeah,
Just a basic thing.
3 million. 3 million can serve you.
3 million
Without the land.
without
prices,
the land.
prices.
Sai, I can do with 3.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought it was
Thika.
so much more. But Thika, like Thika ndani. Ama
Yeah.
Town or uko ndani like not suburbs. Kwa
Because
miti.
ndani unajua ndani hautahitaji so many of those permits, so many of those ko sawa tu.
Oh yeah, by the way.
Eh.
Na hiyo ni minus now the cost of you and the
And
professional.
Yeah.
Ni
You
just,
need
this
just
is just
building.
material.
And minus the unexpected costs like fluctuating costs, and also there are some costs that are usually ignored, like clearing of the land and everything.
The
All those
feeling.
costs. If you just want the house like that,
The material too, it cost around
like
3M.
foundation done, structure done, roof done, light
Hivo tu.
bulb ile flani ya Philips done, hivyo.
Oh, sijaweka the interior fixtures and
Umeweka, but not the expensive ones.
just a commoner house.
Tiles hadi haujaeka honestly, because tiles are inexpensive.
I feel like you're ni red oxide.
Yeah, they're going from 2,500 per square meter.
Okay.
Anyway, ni sawa.
Ni sawa. But that's a very key question, because I know some people want to see an average of what they should be doing, what they should be looking at, how much they should look to save. So that is one of the major questions that I think we should have answered uko mwanzo, but it's okay. Tumejibu, itasongesha uko mbele, or the one who is lucky enough kufika mwisho
atasikia. But anyway,
yeah,
tulikuwa tumefika wapi?
kumalizia kukafunga.
So thank you, Stephanie, one more time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. At least we've shed light on team build.
Yeah.
Karaoke, your questions have been
karaoke.
answered.
Yes.
So thank you so much. This has been The Real Conversation.
See you next week, same time,
Same place.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.